Animorphs, the Invasion, Chapter 23. Before we get started, I got this new slime. And I think it looks like honey. And you can't tell me, but we're gonna pretend you can. So, does this look like honey? I think it does in the light. It's a lot more orange in real life than in camera. But yeah, get some free satisfying slime. I love slime. Yeah, so I'm gonna call this slime honey. Don't judge me, I do that. Alright, moving on. Animorphs, the Invasion, Chapter 23. Help! Please, someone help us! We had been hearing cries like that all the way down those steps, but now we were close enough to give the cries a human face. It cut straight into my soul. There was a second steel pier. That was the loading station. There, the host bodies were dragged from their holding cages to have the Yeerks re-enter their heads. It was a pretty basic process. They grabbed the hosts, whether human or Hork-Butcher, and forced their heads down into the pool. The people sometimes fought and screamed, and sometimes just cried, but they always lost. When their heads were yanked back up out of the pool, we could see the slugs still slithering into their ears. After a few minutes, they would become calm again, as the Yeerk regained control. Then off they went. Once more slaves of the Yeerks. It was a horrible assembly line, from the unloading pier to the holding cages to the infestation pier. They moved the poor victims through at a pretty speedy rate. There was another area we could only now see. There humans and Hork-Butcher waited on comfortable chairs, sipping drinks and actually watching TV. Taxons squirmed around like gigantic spiny maggots. I heard the faint sound of a television set. I was sure I could hear laughter from the humans. They were watching the show and having a good laugh. Those are voluntary hosts, Tobias said. Collaborators. What are you talking about? I demanded. You remember what the Andalite told us? Many humans in Hork-Butcher are voluntary hosts, Tobias replied. The Yeerks persuade them to let them take over. I can't believe that, Rachel said. No person would ever let this happen to them. No one would ever give up control of himself. Some people are scum, Rachel, Marco said. Sorry to burst your balloon. The Yeerks convinced them that taking on a Yeerk will solve all their problems. I think that's what the sharing is all about. People believe that by becoming something different, they can leave behind all their pain. Like spending all their time as a hawk, Marco pointed out. Tobias had nothing to say to that. He spread his wings and flew up and away. Tobias, come back, I called to him. We have to get moving, Rachel said. We've been standing here staring for too long. She looked at Marco. Don't be a jerk to Tobias, okay? We need everyone. Tobias came swooping back toward us. Cassie, he said. She's on the pier, the infestation pier. They're going to turn her into a host. Well, in the purple gloom, I could just make out the cop's uniform and the small shape beside him. Do you see Tom? I asked Tobias. In answer, he flapped his powerful wings and gained a little altitude. I saw him high over the pool. Then he came back toward us in a power dive. I see him, he said. I hesitated before asking. I wasn't sure I wanted to know the answer. Is he in the cages or is he voluntary? He's in a cage, Tobias said. He's yelling his brains out at the Hork-Butcher guards. Yes, I knew Tom would never have gone voluntarily. I knew they must have taken him kicking and punching. Cassie is getting near the end of the pier, Tobias warned. We only have a few minutes before they infest her. It was time. We were at the bottom of the steps. We ran over to hide behind a storage shed of some kind. Marco pulled me around the corner, drawing me close so that I could hear him whisper. Look, before we do this, there's one thing, Jake, you have to promise me. I knew what he was going to say. If I have to die, okay, but don't let them take me. Don't let them put one of those things in my head. It'll be okay. You, a voice yelled, a human voice. You two, who are you? I spun around, a man, just one man, but beside him, flanking him, was a big Hork-Bajir, looking suspicious, and on the other side, a Taxon. Somehow, the man hadn't seen Rachel. She was just around the corner of the building, but he had seen Marco and me talking. I guess it hadn't looked quite right to him. Us? Marco asked. Who are we? Hey, who are you? Take them, the man ordered. The Hork-Bajir advanced us. The Taxon slithered forward on its dozen of sharp, spiny legs, red jelly eyes quivering, mouth open and closing in anticipation. I knew I had to morph, but I was frozen with fear. Then I saw Rachel. She had gotten around behind the controllers, and she was getting very, very large. So that was Chapter 23. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share to your friends for more videos of reading and slime. Bye!